Last episode we left Yajiang, climbing again and soon hitting the 18 Bend Heaven Road, a series of switchbacks from 4,000 meters to over 4,800 meters, a good chance to shake down the ET5 touring before cruising high onto our stop for the night in Litang at 3,900 meters. We assumed it would be an early night after dinner, but after stumbling upon the locals dancing in the square and not being one to shy away, I promptly made a fool of myself. We pick it back up the next morning in Litang as we make the final leg to the official end of the Yajiang NIO Power Journey. Okay, so we've woken up to a brisk morning here in Litang. It's about -1, 3,900 meters above sea level, and we're going to continue on our NIO Power Journey. We've been traveling down the 318 National Road, which starts in Chengdu, where we did, and continues all the way to Lhasa, Tibet. This NIO Power Journey goes from Chengdu to Yajiang, Shangri-la, and we've been traveling down that famous 318 National Road. However, after Litang, we'll be turning south and heading to Shangri-la. I don't know why I got it into my head that it was the 218 road. It's not. That is in Xinjiang, a completely different road, nothing to do with this. So we now are leaving Litang. We are turning south onto the 227 road, heading south towards Shangri-la. So let's go.
To watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away, as you fade away. I know you told your friend you're not okay.
As well as this NIO Power Journey from Chengdu to Yajiang in Shangri-la, there's over 60 NIO Power Journeys that are open to users here in China, and they span the entire breadth of the country. Whether you want to travel somewhere high altitude like this or somewhere tropical like the Hainan Island, they even have one for the famous Silk Road. And I know we get all the fun in China as NIO users, but according to NIO, they'll be opening their first NIO Power Journey in Europe this year. It's great news for European NIO users, and it shows NIO Power's commitment to developing infrastructure, not just for the mundane daily commute or for the kind of motorway trips, but also for the enjoyment side of things. Because let's be honest, we use our cars for more than just going to work. We use them in all aspects of our life, and what NIO Power is showing us is that even if you do own a NIO, you can just do anything that you want, the same as you could do with a petrol car. I mean, a few years ago, driving out in the middle of somewhere like this in an electric car, range would be in the back of your mind constantly. But today, no worries, I haven't thought about charging once. It hasn't even been a close call. That's what makes NIO Power Journeys so great, is that anybody with hardly any planning other than deciding where you want to go can hop on a NIO Power Journey and enjoy their time. What the hell is that? I thought there were like thousands of chickens just looking at me. Film yaks. Film yaks. That's how they do it. Let's use NIO Pilot and go on an oxygen break. It's high up here. Okay, so we just randomly stopped off going past this kind of rocky riverbed here, because as we drove past there was a sign saying the ugliest stone in China, and we can't see it right now. We're going to try and fly the drone over and find it. But basically, amongst all these kind of smooth river rocks here, there's one rock that is kind of just a complete sharp mess of a rocks in a complete juxtaposition to all the other rocks surrounding it. So now we're on the hunt for China's ugliest rock. Sad news. We tried, we flew a drone over, we looked up and down, we just couldn't find China's ugliest stone. So unfortunately we don't have footage of it. However, I'll endeavour to at least find a picture and insert it here so you can see what the hell I'm on about. Anyway, a bit of fun along the way. We turned off the 318 at Litang and we've been traveling along the 227. The 227 doesn't seem to be a kind of famous route like the 318. On the 318 there are these kind of 318 route stickers and posters and signs all the way down it, but it's still very picturesque. It feels like you're in the middle of an oil painting. It's just a very different oil painting now. Whereas before we were kind of carving our way up the sides of mountains and between towering peaks, we're now driving surrounded still by huge mountains, some of them with snow tips, but we're kind of on the flat valley land between them. I can't wait to get to Shangri-la because, you know, I think the name Shangri-La is a world famous picturesque place and I've never been. So let's see if it lives up to its name. I will say it's not exactly the season for Shangri-La, but nevertheless, I'm sure it has beauty and I can't wait to see it. Word of warning, doing this kind of trip where you're going in really high altitudes, I mean, we're still at like 4,000 plus meters here. If you haven't got oxygen, you're not used to it, you might feel lightheaded, you may feel dizzy. And if you're not careful on top of that, whilst you're driving around these very bendy roads, you may find yourself that you might have an accident. So make sure that, you know, you're safe if you're going to go on these routes. Now, thankfully, nobody was hurt in that, just a few people shaken up. But seriously, be careful when you're out here in these kinds of places, because if you do have an accident, you could be a very, very long way away from either medical care or even recovery. That brings me on to something that I should take the opportunity to talk about a little bit, which is NIO Service. Now, one of the things that NIO Service does provide its users, especially if you get the worry-free service package, is things like free recovery. If you end up running out of electricity here, NIO will send a recharging van or a truck to pick you up and rescue you. If you get a flat tire, they will send a tire replacement truck to wherever you are and they'll fix that tire, amongst a lot of other different services like pick up and drop off in airports. You can even get NIO to help you drive your vehicle from one city to another if you want to. And of course, the overall service that you get provided by your NIO fellows and your NIO service centers. And nowadays in the cars, like in the ET5, in all the NIOs, you have a button here called exclusive service, and that directly connects you to your NIO fellow, which is your kind of contact between you and the company, as well as being able to, from the center screen, call someone out to help you repair something or to fix a tire or to book an appointment to send your car for service. And you can obviously all do this via the app as well, so you don't even need to be near your car. You could be in another city, and I have done this, and you can arrange for NIO to come collect your car, service it, and drop it back and park it back for you. So when you do arrive home, everything's done. That is really, you know, a one-of-a-kind service that you're not getting with any other car company. And that is one of the huge advantages to being a NIO user. Again, drive safe out there. This place on the 227 road is called Haizi Mountain Nature Reserve, and its Desolate Beauty is kind of breathtaking in its own right. I'm not really sure, I'm not a geologist, how these rocks have come to be strewn all over the place, but it's definitely a striking scenery as you're kind of cruising through here. And also it's cold here as well. This water here, there are sheets of ice on it. But yeah, another beautiful stop, completely different to what we've been seeing so far. That's just the beauty of this NIO Power Journey. All these different beautiful sceneries, and each one completely different to the next. Okay, so we just came here to Daocheng, to the next NIO charger, and I found a nice little four-legged friend who actually followed us into town for lunch. But I just wanted to show you, we're not actually stopping here to charge because we charged last night in Litang, but if you're going from Yajiang down to Daocheng, this is the next NIO charging. You can easily get here, unless you've been like me and driving up and down the 18 Ben Heaven Road several times, in which case you may have to find some more charge along the way. But if you're not doing that and you're just driving normally, then yeah, this will be your next stop. We're now going to continue on to Shangri-la. There's another NIO charge station along the way as well. Now this charge station has a couple of kind of destination charges, so if you're staying here or staying somewhere around here, then you can park overnight and charge. Either way, so far, the whole trip, we haven't had to worry about charging once. It's been super easy.
After a long day of driving, as usual, we arrived in Yading, Shangri-la that evening. Officially the end of the Yading NIO Power Journeys, and if you need it, you'll find another NIO charger here. Getting dark, we headed for something to eat. Tonight, it was steamed chicken hot pot. Lorenzo gave me some Highland barley wine. Not a fan of it, and it's also from 2018. We hit the market stalls and then we headed back to the hotel for the night.
We've made it to our final stay over on this NIO Power journey from Chengdu to Yading. This is Yading, which is actually Shangri-la County. Now Shangri-la County is in Sichuan province. However, tomorrow we're going to continue on to Shangri-la City, and that is in another province called Yunnan province. Either way, it's been a fantastic journey so far. We'll finish up tomorrow and we'll be flying out and we'll be saying goodbye to our NIO Power journey. It's been a fabulous time. We've seen a lot of amazing things, a lot of beautiful scenery. Honestly, it's so hard to film this because every kilometer you could just stop and take pictures of what you're seeing. The NIO ET5 touring has been an absolute champion. It's taken all of our stuff, carried us in comfort, and when the roads allows for a little bit of sporty driving. It's been a really good experience, and if you are a NIO user in China, I really think you should check out some of the NIO Power journeys that are on offer. And if you're in Europe, with the first NIO Power journey opening this year, well, expect to be able to do things like this around Europe.
Next episode, we'll explore Yading Shangri-la in the morning light, and while Yading is the final stop of the official NIO Power Journeys, remember to hit that subscribe button, as it's not the end for us as we head to Shangri-La City to fly back home. However, a simple drive on paper soon turns into a bit of a nightmare surrounded still by beauty.